back to another Trading Fibs video. It's time to update the S&P 500 charts. I want to say Friday we started our bounce up from our downsides targets. And last time I put out a video, I listed a bunch of noise that everybody's paying attention to, and then here labeled in green, I kind of prioritized maybe what would be more bullish to less bullish as far as the plays. In my opinion, again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a professional market analyst in any way, and probably don't have a clue what I'm talking about. So this is just for information and entertainment only. But as I was saying from last video a couple weeks ago, like I said, I put everything down that's been going on in the world. I also put something here with Palantir. There's a budget cut a couple weeks ago, and then I saw Alex Karp on Fox News a couple days ago. So he's getting some headlines still. So there's still some news there. I don't know anything about the stock at this moment. I kind of lost touch with Palantir. I don't play a lot of stocks. I kind of play Forex and futures anyway. So, but for individual stocks, I don't. I'll do a request video now, or if somebody wants to get a chart analyst analyzing a specific stock, I don't mind doing that. But for the video purposes, it's just going to be S&P 500 for this channel. And I used to not do a lot of news-related stuff, but I have a feeling a lot of news is going to move the market in the next couple of months. So anyways, I'll kind of list a lot of stuff here that we've heard in the past, and then I'll maybe prioritize these accordingly. But these are just here to look at. So last week I thought maybe commodities were going to be hot, then maybe bonds, and then stocks, and then Forex, and then crypto. And it more or less kind of played like that. But I think stocks is going to get a bounce this week. So maybe I'll move stocks up. I think gold's still going to be moving up. I think bonds are probably, I'm going to put Forex in front of the bonds for this week. And I haven't really paid much attention to crypto. But I bet it would probably go underneath the commodities. Yeah, let's do this. So of importance or relevance, stocks would be number one. Comedy. It's all comical. Commodities, then crypto, Forex, and then bonds. It's probably how I would play that if I was in, a diverse portfolio. But anyways, here is a chart of the S&P 500. Not the full chart, just back from 2000, 2008, and then the spike up here. But I just wanted, this is on the log chart too. At least it should be, yeah. And again, I like to count everything in 3 waves. And you can see that, let's just pick this section here. You can count 1, 2, 3. We're at a 3rd wave, so we are expecting the pullback. Well, we got the pullback, so we need to find out if this is going to be a more major pullback, or if this is complete and we're ready to move higher. Again, just news related. We're going to go in this week with high expectations with tariffs, and well, a war. I guess we're kind of fighting overseas again. So let's put tariffs at number 1 right now, and then I have like a war just kind of off to the side, and then just depending on who we kind of get it into it with, that's in a coordinates. So I'm just gonna keep that here, but because that's going to be its own subject and how it plays into moving the markets. So I don't really want to get that in this list here up to the right. But I did move tariffs up to the top there for this next week. I didn't pay attention to the yield curve, so I'm pretty sure it's still uninverted. I'll have to look into that. And then inflation, deflation. Okay, so yeah, that's going to be real important this week too. So let's move this up here real quick. Crypto hack, I think we're done with that. That's not really any. We'll just put it down at the bottom. I want to keep it just so we know. We'll look back at the year and see how it plays out. Housing market, put it in the middle of the table. I still think government layoffs are going to be a thing. Move that up. Bring the yield curve down. Semiconductors, it's fine. Supply chain, not yet. I don't think that's going to be an issue. The carry trade, well, don't know about that one. That's what I want to get into. But anyways, let's get into the two directions, all right? Because this is real important where we're at right now. I'm going to go over this how I have it labeled. Again, if you don't know Elliott wave theory, I suggest if you want to learn from this video, you really need to look into it. I don't go by the 5-wave impulse and the 3-wave correction. I really just do the 3-wave correction. I think the whole market is made up of 3 waves, and the corrections are a nice way to label it on how it moves. But this video is not going to be for how to teach the way I count. Just know, I think if you just understand that I count 3 waves, then that should get you through this video. So, and they're labeled either as a WXY or an ABC, and I might count them as 1, 2, 3, but it really is leading into the WXY or ABC. The difference between a WXY and an ABC is really the complexity of the move. Okay, an ABC is just a little bit more simple to count, and a WXY just gets a little bit more complicated. Again, it's something I'm trying different on how to count, but anyways, I could go on and on about how I count these ways, but we need to get through this video. Anyways, I just want you to notice that I do have a W, I have an X here, and we're looking for a Y up. I have an A labeled down here in a smaller degree of the WXY. So this is the internals of the X. Okay, so here's an A and a B, and looking for a C to complete this X. Now this move here would be an expanded flat from A to B to C. This is my primary count. Okay, it's been that way since my first video back in March. Maybe I put it in March this year, or no, that can't be. It was last. I know it was last year. Maybe April, March of last year. Could have even been July. It's been a long time. I've had this anticipated for a while, but as we were getting into the presidential election, a certain count didn't comply with a lot of the symmetry of how I was counting everything. So everything was moving just fine until the presidential election, and then there was something that just changed. It didn't make sense to me. So I was real cautious on my trades, and that was around here in November of 2024, and until now, and now I feel like it's starting to make a little bit more sense. So now these ovals that I have would be in like an alternate count. Okay, so my ABC, like I said, that's my primary. My alternate count then would be, I need to duplicate this. This A would be, okay, wait, I messed up my degrees. Sorry about that. Let me, just argument's sake, I'm gonna put this A right here, and there's this B that you can barely see. No, we'll do it this way. This B here. And then this C up here. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So, all right. So this circle here, all the ones that are in these ovals are alternate counts. So that means we would be up for an A, a triangle for B, and up for C. Now, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this alternate count, but it hasn't been finalized yet. There's a couple of things I'm looking at, and now let me get you the two directions first of all. This could be a bottom. Maybe it could come down a little lower, and then we're up to the 8,000 mark in the SPY. Okay? Or we get a little bounce up, and we're down to somewhere around the 32,000 mark. Okay, these are the two directions, and it's major. I mean, it's a big difference, so you don't want to get this wrong. That's why I'm trying to put out the video today and figure out which way we need to be going. Okay, so let me get rid of this, and now let's go over what I'm looking at. So hopefully, okay, let's look at this trend line right here. This is a smaller ABC. Yeah, I mean it's kind of, oh wait, it started here. I'm sorry. Okay, this is just a trend line, an arbitrary trend line, but this is the actual triangle here to here. So it'd mean A, B, C, D, E. Look at how this looks, this pattern. And now if we step back, zoom out, and we look at this triangle, if this is what this is. Wait a second. Yeah. So they looked pretty symmetrical so far. It's kind of what caught my eye. But also I take a lot of Fibonacci numbers too. It's not just trend lines. It's always about the Fibonacci numbers. So focus right now on this trend line and this one. Now, and like I said last time I put a video out, the market loves to hide patterns within patterns. You know, sometimes they look symmetrical. Oh my goodness, I can't talk today. And others, they use it to divert your attention and then go off to some other pattern. So right now, I've got a mess. I just made it. Okay. Anyways, give me 1 second. I'm gonna try to. All right. Yeah. Give me 1 second. Okay, can you tell I got a lot going on today? All right. So, if this triangle is to play out, I believe we still need to test this trend line here. So that's one thing I'm looking at. Now, this trend line, like I said, it was just a noticeable trend line. I'm going to take it out right now, because really the triangle played out this way, or was an A. I'm sorry. It was this way. A, B, C, D, and then broke the trend line here. Also, one of my price level lines, tried to test it, went past it, came back up, and then blew past it. Okay. So, but I think it was more breaking this trend line right here that told me that this was a triangle. The reason I'm emphasizing these triangles is because if I can find this triangle pattern that tells me that it's a B wave, not a C wave, because if it's a C wave that we're in, have started, then we're coming down to that 3,000 level, and it's going to be fast, and you're going to miss it, and you're going to lose money before you even get a chance, before you can realize what has happened. Because that's another thing we need to be looking for, is these, what Elliott Wave likes to call these real fast impulse waves. And it's a sharp direction too, and we kind of got this right here. Okay, now the only thing I can say that why I need to find out why we stopped where we did on this candlestick. Again, this is the weekly candlesticks here for at the well, this, I've switched it to the micro E-minis chart for this right now, but it's all really similar. Let me see here. Okay, so here's my indicators, and this is on the daily. So here's your chart up here. Here's our little bounce on Friday. I'll zoom in here in a second, but it's bearish on the RSI. Just really started a bearish signal on these MACD 2 lines, but overall on the MACD, it's still bearish. I mean, it's close to the zero line. I mean, it's still bullish. It's close to the zero line, but it's really still considered a bull market for the long term. So the RSI and the MACD 2 lines tells us that we got some room to go for the upside. Now we need to find how much space we do have. So here's a little zoom. I got zoomed in a little bit here so you can see these candlesticks. But you can see there's some price action here at 57.23, so that's going to be some resistance. This orange line here is the trend line off of this triangle, this internal triangle. So you can see it's at a slant, so it depends. I think it's going to be, well, what day is today? That's the 16th. So it would probably, I guess if it breaks this 5723 price action level, then yeah, let's zoom in there. A lot of resistance going on up, so it might slow down as it starts to move up, which is something that we need to probably take in consideration. I'm going to remove that one, remove this. trying to spend a lot of time on this because there's a lot of factors that's going to come into play on the way on our move up. Okay, so let's do this on. All right, again, this is the S&P 500 chart. I've got some fibs here, and I just want to show you that. See, I'm going to highlight each one individually, show you where we got to where we're at. Remember, looking for 3 moves as an ABC. So I measured this one. This first move here is an A, B here, and our C up. So these fibs in blue measured our C wave up, and our first blue line hits right here. Okay, so that tells me, that gave me this first A in our primary count. Which is, I'm sorry, it gave us our B in our primary count, which was right here. Okay, right there. Let me go ahead and put that A. Let's see, yeah, it's an A. I don't know why I moved that B. I'm really messing you guys up today. I'm sorry. I'm just so busy, and it's almost 5 o'clock. I'm trying to get all this done. Okay, so it's the A. Yeah, this B goes back up here somewhere. All right, so this is the A. All right, 1, 2, 3, A. Think this is going to be an A, B, C, D, E. This is, oh my goodness, that's the alternate count. I'm doing the primary count right now. Okay, that's our A, the yellow A, right here. A, B, and then our C is up here, which started this triangle that I gave us this trend line that I said it broke for the E leg. Okay, so here's our A, B, and then our C was right here, I think. Okay, let me just confirm that the C was on July 8th, 2024. That's right here, I think. July 8th. Yeah. So that's right here. All right. So that is all derived from this first leg here. So I'm going to remove this fib. Now this fib here gave us, I measured the, okay. Yeah, so I measured this B wave to get okay. It was to try to figure out if anything lined up on that presidential pivot turn that didn't make sense for me a couple of weeks ago when I put out that video on a possible triangle, which I still think it's possible. So right here, we're going to zoom in. This fib is right on the presidential election nomination. Okay, so I just don't, that's pretty coincidental, right? And this is the 261. So again, it's not going to play a factor in my count. As far as it doesn't help me get my wave, but it helps me figure out that something was going on there, right? So let me take this off now. Now we know this is some kind of importance, that move. Now I had to figure out, that's what told me that I need to be looking at something, and that's when I found out it's probably a triangle. So that's where I backed up when I found this A, and I started doing the alternate count, and that's what gave me this larger degree A here. Okay, because originally I was thinking that if this C leg was complete here, and this was 3 moves, 1, 2, 3, this was a turn right here. Even though it went higher, it's one of my expanding flat turns. So it would have been an A, B, and we'd have to go past this 5127 area for it to get our 3 moves. So this would be A, B, and a C, and it would have, like I said, complete somewhere down here. That still could be the case, but if that was the case, I wouldn't have had so much trouble counting all these waves from here to here. But it was incredibly difficult. I just can't emphasize that enough, and that's why I'm having trouble putting these videos out, because I understand it to what I need, how I need to count it, but to relay it to everybody is just very, very difficult. But anyways, let me just try. So from here, if this was a turn, a expanding flat pivot turn for a higher high, but we're on the way down, then this would have been a 1, 2, 3. Then that means I needed to have all this, everything needed to be 3 internals. So we got 1, 2, 3 here. That makes sense. 1, 2, 3 here. That made sense. And then kind of, but I won't get into that. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 here, and then 1, 2, 3 here. So this was all okay, right. This is right here, just is so complicated. But it was 1, 2, 3 down for an A, 1, 2, 3 right here. But this retracement, it wasn't enough for a bearish move. I mean, it was right on the 23.6. But I tell you, going back and trying to recount all this, bringing back memories and wonder if I did something wrong. 3 here, so this is an A, and okay. So like I said, Elliott wave theory is I mean, this is the way I count it is almost 99.9% correct if there is a gauge for accuracy on Elliott wave theory. I mean, it's hard to scientifically prove a lot of these counts. But okay, so if this is an A and this was a B, this was supposed to be a C down. Oh my goodness. But it went higher. Okay, so I thought to myself, well, maybe the C wave down could be an expanded flat to start the turn for its final move down. I mean, it just gets so complicated. So that means this 3 waves here would have been an A, and then this 3 would have been a B, and then this would have been a C down. And this would just be the beginning. The problem and it all fits. It fits. The problem I have with it is the time duration correlated to this move right here. It just doesn't. It's not symmetrical enough with Fibonacci time to say that this move is correlated with this move. So now I have to, I'm starting, is what I'm getting as my primary count is starting to turn into my alternate count. Okay? That's really what I want you guys to take away from this. So now my alternate count is, which is these triangle patterns, are starting to become my primary play. So, with that being said, let's go back to the micro E-mini chart here. Let's zoom into this triangle and analyze this triangle. Okay. We're just going to ignore any other possibilities right now. Let's just figure out where we're going if this is a triangle. Let's take out this box here. Let's try to clean up some of this. Okay. Let me turn on some other indicators real quick. Just wanted some moving averages. This is the weekly. I'm probably going to change it to the daily. Remember, I bear more weight on daily indicators than weekly or monthly, but they still will give us some kind of information here. So you can see the turn here on the 55-day moving average and the turn on the 8-day moving average, and you can start to see the peak here on the, which one is that, 233. Alright, now you can see this candlestick closed right on my 233. First of all, if we're playing this a triangle, this is an A, B, C, and then your D was here, right at the top of this candlestick, and the E is this move here. So it started out looking like a triangle, but I think it's going to end up A, B, C, maybe. Well, yeah, I don't want to get into that too much. But just let's say that if the E is complete, then we don't have anything to worry about and sky's the limit. But let's say that the E is not complete. So how far, and that's another thing. Okay, that's really what we need to do, is in a triangle anyways, even for Elliott wave theory, that every internal move on a triangle is 3 moves anyways, except for the E. The E can be a little tricky. All right. And I don't mean that it's more than 3 waves, because the way I count is everything's 3 waves anyways, right? I'm just saying there could be more extensions, I should put it that way, on the E leg. So this is 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and then it gets hard, it gets complicated right here. There's a couple ways I could count it. I could say this is your A, B. Well, let's just do this. Yeah, okay, there it is. I had it right. So 1 2 3 right here. And this is 1 2, and then 3 down, I guess. Could play it that way. So, all right. This is very complicated. Just bear with me here for a second. Okay, let's do this. Let's just switch it to the daily. Let's just make this easier on ourselves. Let's go ahead and we're just going to measure this drop. All right. So I've already counted this. I know the bottom is here. No, I'm sorry. Let me redo this. It was there. Yeah, I had it right. Okay. So we're looking for our retracement levels off of this leg down. Our 23.6 is right here, which is close to my price action level at 57.23. The 38.2% is markets are open now, or almost 1 minute till. Okay, so I got to wrap this up. I'm trying to anticipate this projection of this 8-day moving average. I would say, because here's the 50%. I want to get to the 50. But is what I'm looking at is that we're probably going to open up higher, retrace here, hit off this resistance, off the 23.6, off the 57.23 price action. And then this is going to be, we need 3 moves here. So this would be 1, 2, and then maybe we get 3 up to the 38.6, or we get it up to the 50 or higher. But I'm hoping one of these two, and then we'll know more after that, because I'm thinking that once it hits one of these targets up here, we will come all the way back down and retest this this low from the last couple of weeks, which is the 55.08. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Yeah, I hope that helps. I know that today was a confusing video. I didn't give it a lot of thought. I appreciate you watching. Sorry for if it seemed a little too unprofessional for everybody today, but it's just the best I could do. Again, I do this in my part-time, try to fit it in when I can, and yeah, like I said, and there we are. We're opened up higher. It's what I was anticipating. So let's see if we can hit our price levels here and get past this 233 moving average, which is that dot right there. And yeah, but like I said, I expected the pullback too. So maybe it doesn't get as high as I thought, but we should anticipate a small pullback here too. Okay, good luck everybody. I've got to go. Till next time.